Blade Runner. I'm going to ask you, because I'm pulling rank here. Are we going to see Gav in the next Blade Runner? Has anybody talked to you about that?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think
want to see Gav in the next Blade Runner? What do you think he's been doing these past 30 years?
You know, what has Gav been doing? chasing replicants. He caught Decker. Ooh. Yeah, he off Decker. It's over for him. He's never coming back. No. Basically, no, I think that what Ridley will do, if he does this, if he really does this, which, you know, there's a lot of times that we wish that things would happen, and they say that they're going to happen, but they just can't because of one reason or another. But basically, I think that this, because it's Ridley, will probably take form. And what it does, I think, is going to be in that understanding of, you know, technology and human beings. But I think it's going to be different. I don't think it's going to be like a continuation or the same world. That was 30-some years ago, 32 years ago.
So it'll have the DNA of Blade Runner.
Yeah, well, because of Ridley, oh my God, he doesn't need much excuse to just like vamp on anything. So he'll be able to create whatever he creates will be masterful and a total blessing for us who enjoy that world. Before Blade Runner, I mean before Battlestar, no one touched the world, that aesthetic, that truth that Blade Runner hit. And that's one of the reasons why so many of us have enjoyed it for so many years. And people who have never seen it before, you know, and then all of a sudden you introduce them to them, they think it's like a brand new movie. You know, they just, whoa, this is really, really incredible. Yeah, it is. The story's incredible, but the people, the characters that are inside of the story itself are incredible. And that's what when I talked to Ron Moore and David Icke, when they asked me if I would partake in the Battlestar, I said that the only way I can honestly do it, two things. One is that the world that Ridley opened in Blade Runner, I want to go into that world. I want it to be that kind of an understanding where that everything was real. It was factual, and the characters were us. Maybe not in 2020 or 2019 because we're almost there now. We're only 7 years away, and I don't think we'll have spinners yet. And, you know, but the Asian influence is definitely going to dominate. I think that probably China will probably crack open within the next 5 years, and there'll be the Asian influx throughout the planet will just explode. And they are 1 out of every 5 people on the planet are Chinese. So we have a tremendous explosion that's going to happen to all of us. And I hope you guys are all ready for the cultural diversity. And not take it as an affront, but actually a positive upward swing. But I think that basically he will take it, he's going to take us to the full extent. And I think that we'll end up going into a world that we'll really appreciate and enjoy all the way around. Yes, go.
Well, I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm so happy to be here to see you today. I have a comment and then a question. My comment is, I was a big Battlestar Galactica fan with the original series on TV, so I resisted watching the new one. But I had just 3 episodes away from the finale, and I just love it. Don't anybody give it away. Come on. So,
I envy you.
Oh, it's so exciting. I saved the last 3 until I met you.
Oh.
But my question to you is, I loved your character on Miami Vice, and it was such a wonderful character. There was never anything on your desk. Was this your plan, or was this the props people that said, Marty, you can't have anything on your desk?
Can you imagine somebody saying that? You cannot have anything on your desk. No, I came in, and when I came in the first day I came in, there's some great stories on Miami Vice. Any of you see Miami Vice? How many have never seen Miami Vice, I should say? Okay. It's an interesting, very interesting phenomenon that happened in the 80s. And it really became a real world event where the entire planet, I mean, most of us that saw it would stop whatever it was we were doing on the Friday night that it was aired, and we'd stop for that hour. And no matter where you were, and you'd say, okay, what's that? Oh, yeah. And could be in a bar, you could be in a dance hall, you could be at ridiculously different kind of places, and they'd stop and say, excuse me, do you have a television? You know, it's Miami Vice time. And it was crazy. But when we, that program, okay, especially that character, that was another, the only way I could take that program, believe me, when I heard Edward James Olmos in Miami Vice, when it was as weird as when you heard that Edward James Olmos was going to be in Battlestar. You know, people go, they follow my career. Those that have been following my career know what kind of an aesthetic I have and what kind of films I make. I make Stand and Deliver. Okay, I make The Ballad of Gregorio Cortez. I make Zoot Suit, you know. I make, you know, blatant. But, you know, I don't do, I was offered, and I don't say this to be condescending or hype myself. I just, there's certain passions that I need to have in order for me to be able to understand and move forward. Because I'm not a good actor. You know? Trust me, acting is very, very difficult. If I believe passionately in the story, I can do it. I think anybody could do it. That's the key to this whole existence that we live in. If you have passion for whatever it is that you're touching or that you're getting into, you'll do it honestly, with all your heart. And you'll do it with all your heart and passion. And that's what I got. And when they offered me Miami Vice, I said to them, I cannot do it unless I have creative control of my character. I have a non-exclusive contract, you know? And you know, I know that ABC, it was then, or yeah, it was NBC at that time, NBC, Universal, just television in general, do not allow you to have a non-exclusive contract. That's crazy. You're going to be doing our show, we own you for at least 7 years. Even if we only use you for 5 or 3 or 4, you're going to sign a 7-year contract. And you know, everybody goes, oh, that's okay. Until you realize that, you know, when you're doing 24 hours of television in 1 year, that's what we used to do, 24 episodes. That's like, you know, 10 months of work. So you have maybe 2 months, maybe 8 weeks of being able to say or do something outside of that job. There's nothing wrong with that, except I wasn't here to do Miami Vice. Okay, I was here to do the kind of work that I needed to do, and I still do that kind of work, and it's very difficult to do it. Walkout, how many of you saw Walkout? See, like 2 of you. That's what I mean. Really, literally, you should see that movie. I mean, that was a movie I directed and helped produce, and it came out, it was on HBO, and then went into theaters, and it was really a tremendously different kind of movie, but most of you guys won't see it. And I think that most of you guys saw Stand and Deliver in school. Your teachers showed it to you. You wouldn't have taken the time to go see it, you know, what, let's stand and what, forget it, you know, this is the year 2000, man. You know? But in essence, what I'm saying is that they gave me creative control of my character. That's why Castillo turned out the way it did. Do you think somebody would have written that thing that way?
I loved it. Great job.
I thank you 1,000 times over. 1,000 times over. I cleared the desk. I walked in and they had stuff all over the desk. And I said, what is this? There was books, there was all kinds of, there was pipes, you know, I had like 10 pipes in this pipe holder and all kinds of stuff all over the desk. And, oh, it was decorated really, really incredible. I said, wow, whoever this belongs to, pretty intense, you know? I said, but I'm coming into the story. I walk into the story holding a potted plant in a box, which I asked for. I walk in, that's how Lieutenant Castillo came into the scene. He walks into the OCB, and he walks in and he looks around and, you know, everybody looks at him because he's dressed in a black suit, black tie, white shirt, and he's not wearing Armani. You know, he's the only one in the room that's not wearing fancy clothes. And so I walked in and I said to them, I said, I'm going to walk in and you're going to see me walk in, and then the first time you see me in my office, I'm going to have all this? I don't think so. I said, clear everything. I said, clear the whole damn room. And they said, clear everything? I said, clear everything. And then just like the costume designer, when she heard me, I got on the phone with her, and it was all done very quickly. I got the job at like at 5:30, 6 o'clock at night on a Wednesday, and on Thursday morning at 7:30, I was in front of the camera doing the show. you know, actually performing in the character. So that's really dangerous. It's really unpreparedness runs amok, and I was really nervous and scared. So I was really overwhelmingly, you know, disciplined in deciding what to do. And I told them, when they said, oh, well, we have to know your sizes for your clothes, I said, okay, and I gave them the sizes, and I said, I want a black suit, wash and wear, the cheapest one you can find. And they said, well, no, we have a style, and this has been, you know, because they did, it was incredible style that they had on the show. And I said, I know you do, I know you have a style, and I don't know it, but I know you've got a style. I know you have a whole color thing that's happening and everything. I saw some of the episodes. And I said, but for me, just give me a black suit and wash it in a washing machine, and then take it out and hang it, and it's got to be ready by tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock when I go to work. So just get it out. Do not press it. You know, just let it hang there and be hanging. And she says, I don't know if I can do this. And just ask Michael Mann. You know, he'll verify that it's okay to do this. And so, of course, when I got there, I had wrestling shoes, the same ones I wore on Battlestar Galactica for years and years and years. For 5 years, I wore them and then Hogan saw me. When Hogan was getting dressed, he says, whose shoes are those? He says, that's Adamus. He goes, I want those kind. Because they were so comfortable. We were always standing up, and they're the most comfortable shoes in the world. And then you can run, and you can do all kinds of different stuff. And so they're actually wrestling shoes. And so, but I first wore them on Miami Vice. And I said, you wear wrestling shoes, and I want a suit, I want a small thin tie, and you can color, and you can use any shirt you want to, but it's got to be a wash and wear shirt, and wash it. Do not put anything new, and do not